Hey everyone, I'm Caroline Rena from the Ride of My Life podcast, and this is actually a combination of a couple of different things. One is an update. One is my introduction, just to give you an idea of what I'm doing with my work. And then the last one is a shout out to some new friends and a couple of other things. So anyway, I don't really like doing these with the glasses on, but I'm gonna I have to because I gotta drive. So I am actually right now heading south on 25, Interstate 25 in Colorado, and just kind of taking everything in from the last 10 and a half weeks of my stay with my friend Valerie. And that in and of itself was like incredibly healing and powerful, and the universe couldn't have put me in a better position to continue to work on letting go of those things that don't serve me anymore, and people, experiences. I mean, it's kind of, I always forget the word, but it's like there's a word. It's like I'm happy and sad at the same time. So if you happen to know the word, type it in. Maybe I'll figure it out by the end of this recording. But anyway, so let's start out with the introduction, because I think that one's going to be the hardest one to do, because I kind of have notes and I don't want to, I'm driving. So and it kind of fits in with my experience here in this, and the healing and working through these things and connecting with my inner child and working through the trauma that I've experienced throughout my life and my nervous system. And these are things that I'm finding many people have experienced, and it could be from any number of things. I've talked about, PTSD, and I've talked about like trauma from being in the military and those sorts of things, but I learned a lot being here. My friend Valerie is a licensed professional counselor in the state of Colorado, so that was really helpful for me to learn some things too. And a lot of what I learned also was about birth trauma and developmental trauma, and these are things that if you know anything about Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, KOLK, he wrote a book. I can't think of the name of it right now. I'm kind of still, allowing things to cycle, and my brain's kind of like a little crowded at the moment, working through some things. So bear with me. The body, I have the book, I can't tell you, but the body keeps the score, that's it. And so anyway, learning about developmental trauma, I ended up talking to the author, who is also a counselor, and she wrote the book Love Evolution, L-O-V-E-V Evolution, O-L-U-T-I-O-N. Hopefully that's correct. And her name is Janae Weinhold. And the information that she and her former husband, Barry Weinhold, put together in this book was like an eye-opener for me. And then there were things like, I met this woman by the name of Sandra Felt, who's also a counselor here, and who authored the book Good Girl Jail. And that connected with me deeply, and I had a great connection with her. I think I'm going to do the shout outs right now. So that was a beautiful experience. And then, of course, the people that Valerie connected me with were over the top for me. Such a blessing that, I'm still kind of working through that because of leaving the area and kind of still feeling it. And so I want to shout out to Susan Blue. Beautiful, beautiful human being. She does cranial sacral work, but it's a different type. And if you, she's in Colorado Springs, and I love you. You're such a huge help for me. Thank you. And then let's see. Then I've got Angela Gaynor, and she is an acupuncturist it's like 5 elements acupuncture, and I've never heard of that before, and so I experienced that with her, and that cleared big time things for me. And I have to say here, because a lot of the work I'm doing right now is how the body is kind of like a vehicle and connects with the mind and the spirit and the soul. And so when I have body work done, it really integrates the mind work. It's like I've done cognitive therapy for many, 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 many years, and I keep feeling it drop into the body, it drops into the body, it keeps doing that. And so I don't know any other way but to drop into the body and see how the body connects and how it heals as I walk through, because I still do some cognitive, because you kind of have to talk your way through some things. I'm a writer, so words are important. I also have a very analytical mind, and that just kind of sometimes gets me into trouble, and sometimes it's good because I have like a baseline I can start from. So then, let's see, so that was Angela. So thank you, Angela, for your beautiful soul and your guidance, and I'm very grateful to you as well. And then there was my little girl Fiona, who's not really little, but she's kind of she's awesome. She's in her 20s. I can't remember. I think she's 26. Don't quote me on that, but I just want to shout out to this beautiful human being. Blessings too, and thanks for all the gift of love and support you gave me in helping me kind of move my podcast along and figure out how to post and to do these intro videos and all the things that you helped with, and the puppy. I got to spend some time with her puppy, and so thank you, Fiona. Mwah. Love to you too. And then, gosh, I hope I'm not. And I'm not. Let's see. Okay. And so I just posted a video about this person, Lisa Chapman. She runs this amazing metaphysical shop where you can go in and shop, but then she also has like holistic treatments in there, massage, energy work, halo therapy. It's a beautiful shop, and it's the energy in there is incredible. I did a halo therapy, and that really made me feel it's very calming. I know that you have to do more than one to kind of get the benefit effect, but it really helped release these salt spaces. The halo therapy really helped to release not only for breathing and such, but it helped with the skin. It helps with all kinds of different things, and it was very relaxing when I was in there. And so I did a video, and I posted that video yesterday just so you guys could meet her, because she just opened this shop a couple of months ago, just before I got here. I didn't meet her then though. And she's got these incredible readers and healers and all kinds of things. So I highly, highly recommend making a visit. It is in Briar Gate in Colorado Springs, and Lisa herself is very genuine, very loving. She does her own readings, angel card readings, and some other things that she does personally besides run the shop with her son. So thank you, Lisa, for all that you've done for me. I'm so grateful to you as well. And I've got one more, and So all of those were the divine feminine that I got to meet while I was here, and I'll save a little bit more with Valerie, in a few minutes. But those were the divine feminine, and then I met a man named by the name of Tim Nimmo, who is a sculptor, and he is probably the kindest. I don't know. There's just something that gave me some, hope and respect to my experience with with men in my life that I've been healing from. And he was just supportive and, loving. And we met a couple of times and just hung out. And I watched him do he showed me his studio and his puppies. And then we did go out into the mountains a little bit one time with his puppies and just kind of tried to go fishing, but it was too cold and I couldn't do it. But got to spend time with the puppies, and so that was amazing. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to also connect with the divine masculine in that. And so, yeah, I kind of want to go. Oh, one more shout out. Yeah, so a couple of days ago, I had something not horribly, terribly terrible thing, but I didn't know what was going on with my clothes, and it's 2 days before I'm leaving, and I had all this stuff to do. I had to pack, all this. So I was walking through some stuff with that, and my friend had just brought back some, wool balls to put in the dryer that had just gotten some more. It's a different type of oil, thank goodness, but some scent put in it, and it's all holistic or natural and all that, but it has an oil base. So what happened was my clothes got spots all over them, and I had like 8 shirts and one pair of shorts that had spots all over it, and I'm like, no, because I don't have a whole lot of clothes with me anymore because I gave away everything. And I'm like, no, I can't have that. So what happened was I contacted the store that it happened at, and this store is, I'll give you the name and everything when I'm done, but so the assistant manager answered the phone, and she said, oh my gosh, we'll do what we can to help you. And she reached out to her general manager, who happened to be in another store, and he called me back, and we talked, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I'm just trying to, breathe my way through this, because I don't have a lot of time to do anything, right? And very, very helpful. And what was amazing was they offered, or the assistant manager offered me to come into the store, because I didn't want to go out and buy Dawn dishwashing detergent. They had all this stuff, and I just didn't. As you can see, my car's pretty packed. I think you can see it, yeah. And I just didn't have the capacity to get any more stuff to put in here, right? So I'm like, no. So anyway, I ended up bringing my clothes over to the store, and she worked on my clothes. She put this, whatever her concoction was, I think it was either baking soda or white vinegar and Dawn dishwashing detergent and something else, I can't remember. And then, there was something else. Anyway, so she took the time to put this stuff on my clothes, and then she washed them. I guess they have a sink there. She washed the clothes, and I went to go pick them up. They gave me a free container of soap that I had actually, she asked what kind of scent I wanted, and they had a peace and love scent, which was so cool. So I got that, and it goes along with the theme, And so after I left yesterday morning, I re-dried them, and most of the spots came out compared to the way they were. So anyway, I called them back yesterday morning, and I got the name of the general manager and the assistant manager who did the clothes for me. And I just want to do a shout out to Dallas Knox, who's the general manager of Buff City Soap at University Village in Colorado Springs. He was the one who, situation, but Hannah Cosillo, I hope I pronounced her name right. She's the assistant manager at the Nevada Street store, which, as I said, it was in University Village. And I'm going to put a hashtag. Hopefully it'll work in Facebook, but it'll definitely work in Instagram. But it's hashtag Buff, BUFF, City, CITY, SOAP, SOAP, University Village, and that's in Colorado Springs. So I highly recommend the care and concern that these people have, a lot of people have out here that I've experienced has been over the top. I'm not used to that. So that was very powerful for me. So thank you guys so much for that. Then I think that's about it in reference to that. So I'm going to do a combination thing, because the combination is like the experience I've had out here has been incredibly fulfilling, healing, loving. I'm so grateful to have met the people I've met and to have had this experience with Valerie. And, you know, we actually kind of walked each other through a lot of stuff, because I do coaching and transformational coaching, guidance, you know, whatever, energy work, whatever you want to call it. That's what I meant. I do energy work. I now do my Inner Peace Oracle reading, which, by the way, had it not been for Valerie introducing me to a couple of the people that I've mentioned already, I think it was Susan and Lisa Chapman, that I wouldn't have come up with this Inner Peace Oracle bibliomancy book. So it was like, wow, you know, I mean, so many things, so many, and it kind of been narrowing and clarifying my focus on what direction to go in for now. And okay, so Fiona and I had a conversation, and she had mentioned to me that, and I really appreciate this feedback, because with the work I do, it's kind of like, Susan called me a master at holding space. And I also, and then the energy work came from recommitting myself to the energy work and with others, and to, you know, the spiritual work and all this stuff. And so when I was talking to Fiona, I did a reading on her, and we did a little bit of work just so she could get an idea of what I do. And I wanted to share what she said to me, because it was very both enlightening and helpful for me to see what's happening. Because sometimes when we do work with people, we don't really see what we're doing. Because like for me, I channel stuff, and I don't know all the time what someone else is getting unless they give me feedback, you know. And sometimes I ask and sometimes I don't. But this one I asked, and she said this. She's when we did the work, she said there was a serious release of energy, and rather than passive holding on, she felt like it was safe for her to release that energy as opposed to holding on to it in my presence. And I was like, whoa, okay. So that's where the master of holding space came from, one place. And I was like, that makes sense now. And it's like the other thing she said was that I give the people I work with permission to sit in a feeling. And it's not only permission, that's her take on this too, but I wanted to add, it's also a safety. It's a safe space where the feeling doesn't feel like it's going to overwhelm. And I just sit there with my clients and hold that space of love and safety and support. And I don't really do anything, but the energy does it. It's hard to really explain that. For those of you who don't really know what energy work is, it just comes through, and it's like this powerful, unconditional love that I feel inside of me, and I kind of learned how to get out of my own way to do that, and especially here. And so that really helped me to see what was happening for her, you know. And then because we have been taught not to feel our feelings, women who stuff feelings down, men who aren't allowed to cry, so it builds up anger and or rage, which comes out. So we go in, they come out, most of us. I'm not generalizing because there's other circumstances, but so we were never able to give ourselves permission to feel these feelings. And these feelings are going to be there whether we like it or not. You know, it's part of who we are. It's part of our makeup. It's part of our design. And then the other piece of this is that it helps to continue, or no, I'm sorry. So back to that. So a lot of us were told not to have these feelings. So it gets stuck. These feelings get stuck. I think I have mentioned this before where in the body, Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, the body keeps the score. So any energy, emotions are energy. Some people say E-motion, energy in motion. So they're supposed to be in motion. They're supposed to flow through us. But when we have blocked energy in our body from not being able to release it from trauma or stress or any of that stuff, it keeps like stacking on top of each other, and there's no place for it to go. We're supposed to be open channels, all of us. And so what happens is when something happens in our day or life that makes us feel angry, it hits the anger stuff that's already in there, and so there's no way to release it, so it gets stuck, and then we either go into stress response, or we get a flashback, or whatever occurs in that area. So for me, I used to get emotional flashbacks and the stress response, and I'd be like, and I've shared that before, but now that hasn't happened, and I'm able to regulate, which is a very important word for people who've been through trauma. And so it was very helpful for me to hear her tell me that, because but the other thing that comes up though is when we're on our healing journey, as we're doing, and I've experienced this is why I'm doing this, as we experience the release of these energies, we sometimes have things happen in front of us that happen over again, just to make sure that we either learned the lesson or there wasn't anything that we missed from the healing process or whatever. So it's not like, oh my God, I've got to go through this again. No, you're at a different place in your life. So it's not as scary as it appears to be, and it does appear. The appearance is definitely a little off-putting. But as long as we allow these energies to release, we open that channel, so when new emotions come in or new situations happen where we feel the emotion that's coming in, it can flow and it doesn't affect us as much. And the more we do the healing work, it doesn't affect us as much. And at some point, it's like, okay, it's not that big of a deal, which is really interesting for someone like me and anyone else who has been through trauma, any kind of trauma, developmental trauma, PTSD, actual, real flashbacks. I don't personally do work with people who are in that space, but I do, hold space and support people who have been through some emotional trauma. It just depends on the situation and that sort of thing, because there are people that I can't work with because they're too far in it, and I don't have the I guess it's I don't know. I just they're in it, and I can do it in the moment, but that's not exactly what my gifts are. So I don't know how to explain it. And I do have people I can send you to if you are one of those people who get the flashbacks and you're deep in it right now and you need some support or whatever. I can refer. And so anyway, I think I pretty much covered everything. I just wanted to thank all of you for watching me on this journey, and I think it's so important for people to understand that this is something that can be healed. It's been, yeah, for me, it's been 30 plus years. Maybe it probably wouldn't take as long if you have support. I didn't have that support. So I did most of it on my own, even to the point where there were times where I wouldn't be able to see a therapist for, monetary reasons or something, and I would still do the work, and it's shifted everything. And here I am in this beautiful, still in Colorado, this beautiful state of Colorado, and driving through, heading back. Right now I am actually heading to back to Oklahoma, and I'll be there for a couple of weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks maybe, I don't know right now. And I've learned, I have had a fear of the unknown for my entire life, and things are just, the universe is just laying things out for me, and I'm like, wait, what is this? Because I always had to be in control, and I always had to make sure, because I felt so out of control throughout my life, and I always had to make sure that I was in control so I could make sure my life was running as smoothly as possible, so I didn't feel like I was going to lose it. I don't have to do that anymore. And it's just the trust, the undying trust in the process. When you do the journey, when you start the journey, is being persistent, being in trust, having faith, having the cojones, to just follow through, because I'm telling you what, man, the other side of that is glorious. I love this. Even when the weird stuff happens, it's not so bad. So I'm like, oh, wow, this is so cool. So anyway, really quick, before I sign off, I want to say one more thing directly to Valerie Montgomery, my dear friend who I stayed with. Thank you for everything. You are an incredible person. You have gifted me with so many things, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I cannot thank you enough for this, for what you've done. I'm going to start crying, so it's a good thing I have my sunglasses on, because I don't think that I have completely worked through that yet on leaving. So I just want you to know why this is so important for me, because of my experience in the mother wound and my not being able to connect with women. And we literally spent almost 11 weeks together and worked through anything and everything that came up without, it was incredible. And I just want you to know, Valerie, from the bottom of my heart, I love you. And yeah. So, okay. I'm all right now, maybe. Anyway, so I will sign off now. I hope you have a wonderful moment wherever you are watching this. And, however you do it, find that peace in your heart, because it's there. The light, the peace, the joy, the love, everything. It's all in there. Yep. So, anyway, all right. Signing off. Peace.